guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Customs. Today I'm sharing with you the Supergirl statue that is hovering. It's based off of some artwork where Supergirl's in the clouds just hovering, and I don't know who sculpted it or who produced it, but it's a really cool looking statue. I like it a lot, but the only problem was the kit itself was very, very weird, and I kind of explained what happened to me. But when I got the kit, I was asked, just to pretty much paint it up. Now, I thought it was going to come in pieces, but it came as one solid piece. Now, she's very heavy, but the thing with the heaviness is kind of throwing me off. When I got the statue and I started cleaning her up, underneath the skirt, as I was sanding it down because there was some roughness in there, just to kind of make it look better, all of a sudden as I'm sanding it, my sandpaper is getting gunked up, and little things are falling on the table, and I'm like, what's going on here? So I look underneath the skirt, and I get my scraping tools, and I start scraping out oil-based clay. So it was, or some kind of I don't know what. But as I'm scraping it out, I'm starting to see like the muscles here, then the muscle is going in, and then it stops to resin. So it makes me think that whoever had this before as just a kid, they didn't use like A's or they didn't use a putty, they just used clay, and they shoved clay up there thinking that that was going to solve the problem and people wouldn't really notice it. But, me making sure that everything is secured and everything is looking correct, as I'm working on it, I realized that all around underneath the leg here, around over in there, and underneath the skirt, it's just like oil-based clay just coming out all over the place. So what I did was I scraped all that out. Once I got all that out, I used A's and I filled in the skirt better, and I kind of built out the muscles as best as possible, because once I got the calf muscle comes up, and then it comes up around there to, the body. But what happened was after I scraped at the clay, it just jagged in, and then it would come up to about the skirt line here. So I had to fill all that in and kind of build out the butt a little bit underneath some more, and I just had to kind of fix that all up. So, but the cool thing is, she's one piece, and she goes in by the calf muscle into this piece. Now, this is like a clear resin, but I don't think it's resin. I think it's an epoxy or something. I'm not really too sure. So that's kind of good, though, because it's really hard and secured, so I don't think there'll be any warping. But the only thing with the statue is she's very heavy. Now, I'm not sure if it's solid resin or if there was clay shoved into her to make her heavy. I don't really know, because certain parts up here in the hair I had to fix, and it was hollow, and also the feet were kind of hollow. But then there was clay shoved on the skirt, so I'm confused, and I didn't want to drill into her to screw anything up or find anything I didn't want to find. So I don't know what the heck was going on. But since she was so heavy up here, the base itself doesn't have this round circular piece. It was cut off here with just that clear, epoxy, and she would almost kind of topple. So I told the person I was doing, I was like, we should really, get her secured more. So they were asking, what should I do? And I was like, well, why don't we put a nice circle base on the bottom, so this way she's secured more, and then I could kind of blend it like it's the clouds going into the cloud and just kind of have fun with it, because I would have been just too worried of having her so kind of top heavy and then this piece just toppling over, because a friend of mine says that he saw one of these at somebody else's house, and it was actually all hollow, and she was like super light. So when he held mine, he says that it's very, very heavy. So I don't know what the deal was, but we made sure it's all secure now, so it's going good. So she's all set up. So other than that, she was very difficult to paint up, only in the back. There was a lot of, sitting there with the brushing, getting in there, masking it slowly with silly putty, and then just kind of, it was very difficult to get back there. But once I did it, it all worked out. So, any artwork, she's got like a tan line of her underwear. So I kind of looked at the artwork, and I kind of just, looked at her or where her crotch is. So I kind of tried to follow the best part with the, tan line. So when my goal was, I painted her all in skin tone. And then what I did is I found where the underwear line would go. And I sprayed all that a little bit whiter, like a brighter skin color. And then I masked that off with some silly putty, took my time, and then I darkened it up a little bit, and then I pulled it off, and then I got my tan line. But then what I did was I did a little bit of a shadowing underneath here, just so that even though there's a tan line, there's a shadow going down there, and it just all kind of blends together. So I just ran with all that. And then, a nice vibrant blue with a little bit misting of a pearl in there for the blue outfit. The cape, red with the boots, I kind of went with that, mahogany shading on it, not really black, just some mahogany. just to give it like a leatherish type look. Yellow here is just regular yellow with some orange shading. The belt buckle is more of a metallic yellow, just to kind of give it a little bit of a different yellow. Same thing with the symbol up in here. Instead of using the same red on the boots and the cape, the red here is a metallic red and then a metallic yellow glossed up, so it makes the symbol pop a little bit more. We went softer look with the face. Didn't do a really crazy eye shadowing, and we didn't do like bright red lipstick. We just kind of went with a nice natural look on her, and platinum yellow hair, and just ran with it. So really cool project, really great sculpt. Just a little difficult. Just wish it, like I said, I wish it was pieces. I wish actually I got the piece where the head was separated, and I could have glued the head in at the end with the cape and do all one piece, and to try to get underneath there, just a pain. So we're getting a little closer for you guys. But overall, happy with it. Good learning experience too, because I had to very, very carefully, gently handle her. Couldn't really, move around too much, because whenever I had to lay her down with her back with the cape, I had to make sure it was on a nice soft, towel or something, just to make sure that this cape or anything wouldn't snap off, because easily you can just kind of put it at the wrong spot, and next thing you know, it snaps on you, and that's what you don't want to do. So I try my best to get that tan line working out pretty good. Give her a lot of nice detailing and everything. So as you can see with the base too, it was literally what I had to do is I sculpted some of this extra little cloud and stuff and kind of blended it going back into the base, and I just let it go roughly, because this is all rough and that's all rough, and I kind of just made sure all the piece together was just rough and then blended, and then I used some whites, blues, some blue grays, and I kind of ran with it. So I kept it a lot of opaque at the bottom, but then as I got up top closer to around here, I just kind of misted some whites just to keep that translucent look on the clouds up there. So that's what I did with the base on that. And that's just a basic rundown on her. Really cool statue. Difficult to paint up. I'm still confused on why there was oil-based clay underneath the skirt area, but it's a good thing I found it, because that's one thing, if you don't look at the piece and you start painting it up, down the line, the person could be sitting there, and then all of a sudden, glops of something are coming down, because oil-based clay, or even any kind of clay in the heat, probably would either just start crackling, or it could just kind of falling down, and you'd be like, what the hell is all this stuff? So it's a good thing I actually found that out in the beginning. Otherwise, it would have been a mess probably masking it or even painting it if I didn't really know. But other than that, we found the problem ahead of time, fixed it, and it's all good to go. So that is Supergirl floating in the clouds. Hopefully you guys like the way she came out, and thanks for watching.